The book Poor Charlie's Almanack was written by Charlie Munger. He was a famous investor and the business partner of Warren Buffett. Born in 1924 in Omaha, Nebraska, Munger had a strong interest in learning from an early age. He studied mathematics at the University of Michigan before serving in the U.S. Army Air Corps during World War II. After the war, he attended Harvard Law School, where he graduated with a degree in law. Over time, he moved away from law and into investing, eventually becoming vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway. Munger's investment philosophy was deeply influenced by Benjamin Graham's value investing principles, but he expanded on them by incorporating insights from various disciplines. He was a firm believer in lifelong learning and applying mental models from multiple fields, such as psychology, economics, and physics. His clear thinking and rational decision-making helped shape the success of Berkshire Hathaway alongside Warren Buffett. Munger passed away in November 2023 at the age of 99, just a few weeks before his 100th birthday. His wisdom, humor, and disciplined approach to investing left a lasting impact on the world of finance and beyond. His legacy continues through the lessons he shared in this book and his many speeches. The book was inspired by Poor Richard's Almanack, a collection of advice written by Benjamin Franklin. Just like Franklin's book, Poor Charlie's Almanack is full of useful lessons. Munger talks about the importance of clear thinking, making good decisions, and avoiding mistakes. He believes that success comes from learning from different subjects, like history, psychology, and economics. Instead of focusing only on one area, he suggests that people should combine ideas from many places. This way, they can see problems more clearly and find better solutions. He often calls this approach a lattice work of mental models, meaning that by connecting ideas from different fields, people can develop stronger problem-solving skills. One of the main ideas in the book is the importance of mental models. Mental models are ways of looking at the world that help people understand problems and make better choices. Munger believes that by learning many different mental models, people can avoid mistakes and make smarter decisions. He gives examples of how these ideas work in real life, such as in business, investing, and everyday situations. For example, he explains the concept of inversion, which means thinking about problems backward. Instead of asking, "How do I succeed?" he suggests asking, "What mistakes will cause me to fail?" and then avoiding those mistakes. Munger also emphasizes the dangers of cognitive biases, thinking errors that affect judgment. He discusses how people often rely too much on recent experiences, fall for confirmation bias, believing only information that supports their views, and underestimate the role of luck in success. He explains how understanding these biases can help people make better choices in investing and life. A key example he gives is the tendency of people to overvalue things they already own, known as the endowment effect. This can lead to poor decision-making, as people hold on to investments or ideas that are no longer beneficial. Another important lesson in the book is the idea of learning from history. Munger says that people often repeat the same mistakes because they do not study the past. He encourages readers to look at history to understand what works and what does not. He also talks about the power of incentives, how rewards and punishments influence behavior. Understanding incentives can help people predict how others will act and make better decisions. One example he gives is the Wells Fargo scandal, where a focus on sales targets led employees to create fake accounts. This shows how bad incentives can create unethical behavior. Munger also talks about the importance of character and ethics. He believes that honesty, hard work, and patience lead to long-term success. He warns against short-term thinking and dishonest behavior, which may bring quick rewards but often lead to problems later. He shares stories about famous business leaders, showing how their good or bad choices affected their success. He also stresses the importance of self-discipline and continuous learning, suggesting that people should develop habits that push them toward improvement rather than laziness. He often mentions the power of compounding, not just in finance, but in knowledge. If a person learns a little every day, over time, their understanding and skills will grow significantly. Another concept Munger introduces is the circle of competence. He advises people to stay within areas they truly understand when making decisions. Many mistakes, he argues, come from overconfidence and stepping into fields where one lacks real knowledge. He provides examples of investors who failed because they thought they knew more than they actually did. Instead, he suggests knowing one's limits and being humble about what one does not know. Munger also highlights the importance of multidisciplinary learning. He argues that relying on a single discipline limits thinking, while drawing from multiple fields improves problem solving. For instance, he describes how using principles from physics, psychology, and biology together can provide deeper insights into business and life challenges. A good example of this is his discussion on Pavlovian conditioning, where he explains how marketers use psychological triggers to influence consumer behavior. Understanding such principles allows individuals to recognize and counteract manipulation. One of the most powerful concepts Munger discusses is the need for patience in investing and decision-making. He warns against impulsive actions driven by emotions and urges people to take a long-term approach. He frequently refers to Berkshire Hathaway's investment strategy, explaining how Buffett and he avoided short-term speculation in favor of long-term, well-researched investments. A notable example is their decision to invest in Coca-Cola when the company was undervalued, holding on to it for decades and benefiting from its growth. Munger also provides a strong warning against envy and irrational competition. He describes how many people make poor financial and life decisions because they focus too much on comparing themselves to others. He shares a humorous but insightful example. The world is not driven by greed, it's driven by envy. He believes that avoiding unnecessary comparisons and focusing on personal progress leads to better mental well-being and financial success. Throughout the book, Munger uses humor and simple examples to explain his ideas. He does not just give advice, he tells interesting stories that help readers remember important lessons. Many of his ideas are based on common sense, but he presents them in a way that makes people see them more clearly. He also reminds readers that making mistakes is part of learning. The key is to recognize mistakes, learn from them, and not repeat them. He frequently quotes famous thinkers like Charles Darwin and Albert Einstein to reinforce his points. At the end of the book, Munger encourages readers to keep learning throughout their lives. He believes that curiosity and a love of learning are the most important qualities for success. He also says that people should think for themselves instead of blindly following others. By developing good thinking habits and using mental models, anyone can make better decisions and live a more successful life. Poor Charlie's Almanack is a valuable book because it teaches timeless lessons about thinking and decision-making. The ideas in the book are useful for everyone, not just investors or business people. Whether someone wants to make better choices in life, improve their career, or understand the world better, this book provides practical advice.